everyone, and welcome to today's webcast on Microsoft's Power BI. Today, we'll be covering the Power BI toolset as a whole, with a focus on the newest features for the August, September, and October updates. My name is Amanda Quon, and I'm a Business Intelligence and Analytics Consultant with Thorogood Associates. My experience and expertise lies within the Microsoft BI stack, including Power BI, as well as other tools such as Tableau and Qlik. I'm joined by my colleague Bridget Rauch, who is also a Business Intelligence and Analytics Consultant, and we're both joining today's webcast from our Center City, Philadelphia office. Now, we have quite a bit of content we'll be getting to today and quite a few people on the line, and we will unfortunately not have enough time for live questions. However, please do reach out via the WebEx chat panel, and we will get back to you afterwards with answers to your questions. Alternatively, please do feel free to email Bridget or myself using the email addresses on the screen here. For today's webcast, our objectives are twofold. One, introducing Power BI, as it is a relatively new technology, by giving an overview of three of its components, in this case, desktop, the online service, and mobile, and understand how these components work together. And two, in demoing these components, we'll be highlighting the newest features in each tool since the technology came out of beta and went into general availability this past July. In regards to those newest features, we've quickly summarized them here for your information. More specifically, in desktop, we'll be looking at some of the new features in data modeling, including calculated tables, relationships, importing from Excel, as well as a couple of front-end updates, such as drilling up and down in a chart, color saturation, and report-level filters. In the online service, we'll look at custom sizes, both in canvas creation and page viewing, aspect ratio locking in images, inserting shapes, friendly URLs, utilizing the search box, the myriad of pin options, and custom tile sizes. Finally, in mobile, we'll see the new iOS 9 compatibility via the iPad app, cleaner and more intuitive navigation, and some collaboration features. So there's quite a bit to take in. Please don't feel the need to write everything down just yet. We will circle back to each of these lists as we demo each tool. In terms of agenda, I'll introduce ourselves, the Power BI toolset, and demo and explore the online service. Bridget will be spearheading the demonstrations for the desktop platform, as well as the native mobile application. So I am pleased to see some familiar names in today's webcast today, as well as some new ones. For those of you who aren't familiar with Thorogood, we are an independent global professional services firm specializing in business intelligence and analytics strategies, solutions, and services. As you can see, we've been around for 28 years and have a keen focus on our customers. We are a global company with offices in New York, Philadelphia, London, and we opened our own office in Bangalore back in 2004. We work across a number of industries, including the insurance, banking, consumer goods, pharma, and health services sectors. And all of our consultants are recruited and trained in the same way to develop a unique mix of skills, blending business understanding in the form of industry and functional experience with strong technical aptitude and a deep understanding of analytical tools and techniques, as highlighted in the intersection of the three circles shown here. This intersection results in high-quality business intelligence solutions. Our clients are some of the leading organizations in the industries as just mentioned. We've highlighted a few here that we've worked with to deliver business intelligence and analytics solutions, including Unilever, Novartis, Lloyds, and Cigna. We are independent in that we don't work with one specific technology. We do, however, partner with a wide array of technology firms in the business intelligence market, including back-end, front-end, and analytics-driven technologies. But a key interest for us today, as we will be focusing on the Power BI tool, is our Gold Certified Partner status with Microsoft. We've been a Gold Partner for over 10 years and certified for data analytics and BI solutions, as well as intelligent systems, such as SharePoint and cloud-based software. Our partnership gives us a great interface into the Microsoft development team. We can not only understand what their thinking is around their product roadmaps, but we can also input into the direction of the product. We can feed back into early betas and pre-releases, as we certainly did with Power BI Designer, which then turned into Power BI Desktop, and the Power BI online service. We're part of a number of their programs as listed here, If you are interested in working with us on any of the innovation programs on the screen, please do reach out and let us know. But today, we'll be focusing on Power BI. I'll give a brief introduction for those of you unfamiliar with the relatively new technology. The first platform we'll be speaking about today is the desktop application known as Power BI Desktop, available as a free download from Microsoft's website. In this desktop application, a single user can connect to data, manipulate and create data models, and produce stunning visualizations at the tip of a hat. Reports are saved locally on the user's machine as PBIX files. From there, a user can take his or her Power BI desktop file and publish it to the Power BI online service, accessible from app.powerbi.com via a web browser. Whether that web browser is Internet Explorer on your laptop, Safari on your iPad, or Chrome on your Android smartphone. Once published, a user can edit their report directly from the online service, create additional reports and visualizations utilizing the same data model, or create dashboards to aggregate data from across different reports. The final platform we'll be covering are the mobile applications. As stated earlier, you do have the option of viewing the online service from the browser of your mobile device. However, Microsoft has developed native mobile applications for Windows, iOS, and Android platforms, which provide enhanced user experience specific to the touch screen for those systems. So let's look holistically across these three platforms. The first one, Power BI Desktop, is essentially a business analyst self-service tool designed for the user to dig into data and handle report creation utilized on one's local machine. The second and third, Power BI's online service, as accessible via the web browser or one of the native mobile applications, houses the reports and underlying data sets on Microsoft's cloud. But overall, as we dig into these in more detail, it's important to note that this is all under the Power BI umbrella. Desktop, online service, mobile, these are all Power BI. Power BI became generally available on July 24th of this year. Since then, 3 additional updates have been rolled out. The first on the 20th of August, the second, the 23rd of September, and the third, just yesterday, the 19th of October. So you'll notice the trend here, wherein the Power BI team is working to push major updates to their desktop product on a monthly basis. But their monthly release cycle of their desktop product isn't the be-all, end-all. The team is working diligently around the clock to provide updates and enhancements to their online service and mobile apps every day, with mobile updates coming out on a bi-monthly basis, and the online service updating on a weekly basis. The rapid release cycle is a testament to Microsoft's prioritization of the tool and ensuring user requests for additional functionality are handled in a timely manner. With that, I will hand it off to Bridget to cover Power BI Desktop and our first demo.
Thanks, Amanda. Hello, everyone. We're going to start our introduction of the Power BI suite with the local application, Power BI Desktop. The desktop app offers the combined functionality of Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View in a single application. And as Amanda mentioned, Microsoft has made it available as a free download from their website with no prior licensing needed. Connections to databases, Excel files, and online data sets are all readily available through Power BI as soon as you open the local desktop app. Once data has been pulled into your workbook, Power BI becomes both a back-end data modeling tool and a front-end presentation builder. Both sides of this product are user-friendly and offer an increasing amount of customization. With each of the monthly updates, Power BI Desktop becomes more robust and provides more capabilities to the user. To really show you the capabilities of the product, let's go right into a demo of the desktop application. I'll be providing just a brief look into the data modeling tools, utilizing existing Excel data models, and finally creating your final reports in Power BI Desktop. Throughout the demo, I'll be pointing out some of the newest features of the application, which, as you can see, even the highlights form a lengthy list. So for this demonstration, I'll be acting as a business analyst at an insurance company. Suppose that I've already spent months building up a data model in Excel, including records of claims, target info, customer contacts, and all of the information I need with the logic and fields all laid out. So we're actually going to start in Excel looking at this data model. So here we have this master file. We have many sheets and information of the claim information and some of the businesses and our clients and geographical country information. In addition, through Power Pivot, looking in, we can actually see the data model that I've built up. So we have all of the tables and, in addition, relationships that have already been built to make this data model more robust. And finally, we have front-end reports. Say, as this business analyst, I need to send weekly updates to other analysts in different departments and monthly updates on the state of the business to executives of the company. Front-end reports, like this one that was built with Power View, will automatically be brought in to Power BI. So all of this will automatically be transferred into the Power BI desktop application. So at this point, let's go over to Power BI. So here we have a brand new Power BI desktop application. I'm going to pull in all of that information from Excel just by importing the data. With Power BI, reports that are already in use do not have to be built up again from scratch. As we work with users, we see so many of them become heavily or fully reliant on their Excel data models and have stored calculations and logic embedded in them. This new ability within Power BI breaks down a huge barrier that had been keeping some business users from switching. Everything is automatically loaded. The tables, the relationships, the calculated fields, the reports, pulling all of this into Power BI has become so simple. So before walking through this model in Power BI, I'm going to briefly pause just to address the question that some of you may be asking. Why, as a business analyst, would I want to migrate over to Power BI when I'm already using the Power tools through Excel? Well, it's hard to decide on the biggest reason to make the switch, as each company has its own priorities. But I would say that most businesses agree on the top three, and those are cost, collaboration, and the depth of the product. First, businesses don't need to pay for Excel 2013 on each user's local machine. In fact, they don't need any licensing at all, since Power BI Desktop is a completely free download. Or users could even choose not to download any applications at all by using the Power BI online service. With this online service, sharing dashboards and using collaborative workspaces are native features to streamline data sharing and team projects. Excel 2016 will even offer an option to publish Power BI directly to incorporate this ability to share data and analysis. Finally, Power BI is Microsoft's future for business analytics. The frequent updates are proof that Microsoft is committed to enhancing user experience throughout the suite of Power BI platforms. They are both prioritizing online and mobile applications while also strengthening their desktop application presence. Overall, Power BI offers a robust product that enables any business user to build the visualizations they need to see. So now, we have this data model loaded into our Power BI workbook, but let's back up to orient any of you that may not be familiar with Power BI at all. It's very similar to the layout of most Microsoft products, with a toolbar along the top, our canvas with visualizations in the center, and the information, data, and visualization panes along the right. Along the left-hand side of the screen are 3 tabs, which switch between the different views of the Power BI desktop. The top one is Report View, which is what we're seeing here. This is our front-end reporting and is focused and is the Power BI version of Excel's Power View or ClickView desktop sheets or Tableau's worksheets. The next tab down is Data View, the Power BI equivalent to Power Pivot, which we just saw in Excel. This view allows you to explore the data as well as interact and alter the data through the query editor. Finally, the third tab is the Relationship View and displays a mapping of your data model and visually shows how your tables are connected to one another. We're going to start with this middle tab in the Data View. In the center, we can see a preview of the underlying tables of our data model, and we can see the table names along the right. If we had multiple sources, these sources would be listed here on the right as well, so everything would be all together in one place. To work with and actually transform the data, we'd want to go into the query editor. This window is very similar to its predecessor in Excel, Power Query, with the data shown in the center again. And now, on the right-hand side, are the recorded tasks, or the sequence of manipulations you've performed on your data. Those are listed here. Some of these steps might be renaming columns, or formatting and cleaning up the data, assigning the correct data types. All of that you can do here in the query editor to reach the final table that you'd use to build your report. So to return to the data view, once we're done editing our data, we can just hit Close and Apply to close the query editor window and return to our main workbook. One of the big new features of the newest update of Power BI Desktop is the ability to build new tables here in Data View. Previously, you could not create your own table using any calculated fields or measures or joining data from multiple sources. Now, instead of being forced to pull in pre-made tables, you can create unique tables right in Power BI Desktop. These tables are built DAX and offer suggested formulas and fields as you type, so it's very easy to get started with them. So I'm going to create a new table right now, and I'm going to call it Client List. I'm going to pull in data from two different tables, so I need to use a cross join, and I'm going to pull in the distinct values from our fact transaction, which is our claims data, and pull in the insured names of these. So this is pulling in all the names of my clients. And I want to join that with our class of business table and pull in the parent class of business name. So just like that, we have a brand new table, including all of our clients and which business class they're in. Now, I might need to export some of this data to somewhere else, and because I've created this here in Power BI, I can right-click on this table and copy either the column or the entire table to the clipboard and paste it in Excel or wherever else I might need all of this data. Now that I've fully formatted and transformed the data for my needs, we can move on to the relationship view, which is the third tab here along the left. While this view in Power BI Desktop has previously only been a picture of the data model, with the latest update, we can now interact with the data to edit relationships right from this mapping diagram. Unlike a SQL database or the script editor in Click, no coding is required to manipulate these relationships. To create a relationship from two tables, we simply need to click and drag from one field to the other. This makes building a data model so much easier. Likewise, to delete one of these pre-made relationships, I just need to right-click on the line and choose to delete it. Similarly, just to create that again, it's just a click and drag. It's that easy. With some of our early Power BI client work here at Thorogood, it was very frustrating having to enter in all of the table and field names to create relationships, especially when it's so simple to view all of the tables here in the relationship view. And, again, new with Power BI, refreshing the data, you can choose to have the latest update of Power BI import the relationships from the original source, or you can choose to keep the relationships as you've manipulated them with this new interactive diagram. So now we've gone through the back-end prep of our data, let's go back to the report view to work on the front-end presentation. So here we have all of the visualizations brought in from Power View in Excel. I'm just going to copy all of these visualizations and bring it onto a new page of the report. Now immediately I can start just dragging these visualizations wherever I need them on my screen, adjusting the sizes to match. And here we have a single display of a number that I want to show as a KPI instead of a table. So all I need to do is make one click, and the visualization appears exactly how I want it to. Additionally, if I want a little more precision on this number, it's an important number that I need some decimal places for, I can format this visualization and choose exactly how many decimal places I would like to display. These are just some of the small things that Power BI allows you to do to customize the data so you see exactly what you need. Now let's look at this bar chart here. First of all, we have a title that may not make sense to a business user, or maybe this is going to an executive, so we want to make a friendly table name. Again, having selected this visualization, I can choose the formatting option, And in the title, just make that a custom table that I'm just going to call targets, because these are the target values. So we have the targets of the parent classes of business here, but say we're also interested in being able to drill down further and see the subcategories of the business classes. I just need to drag on another field from the data, and now we can see an icon appear in the upper right-hand corner of this visualization. This icon turns on that drill down feature, which is new here in Power BI. So I'm going to select this button to turn on the feature, and now I can drill into all of this data and see the underlying data of the subcategories underneath. And just by clicking through, I can get all of the answers I need within this one single visualization. Again, turning off the drill feature, we return to just filtering the data by clicking. Now, if I need even more information out of this visualization, I can add another field for the color saturation. So let's pull on the net paid loss. We can see that we have the color saturation to give us an immediate visual indication of the net loss for those parent classes, and again, if I drill down, the subclasses as well. But again, new with Power BI, by hovering over any of these, we see that actual number, so we get the detailed information that we need, all from this one visualization. Now, looking at the report as a whole, say we want to have this targets and actuals report for just the regional manager in North and South America. So given that business case, we have the geographic information here that was pulled in with the data model, and I'm going to pull in region to the report level filters. Now, by selecting North and South America, we see that this information has changed, but going to the other page of our report, which was the original Power View report, this information has also changed. So the single filter affected every page of the report, which again seems like a small thing, but it really allows you to make your reports customizable and easily have them show the data that you need. So I'm going to call this tab Power BI. I can change the position of these pages. And now I have a report that, of course, is not quite complete, and I could still do a lot to augment, but I've given you just a brief preview of the Power BI desktop application. So the platform allows analysts to fast-track their data exploration and visualization building, ultimately creating customized final product reports. The latest update provided users with more control over their manipulation of data, use of existing models, and report formatting, but we can expect more big changes to be coming soon. Moving on through the Power BI suite, I'm going to turn this back over to Amanda to pick up with Power BI Online Service.
Thank you very much, Bridget, and for showing us the Power BI desktop application. So we showed how a single user can utilize Power BI desktop, pull information from a variety of sources, create a data model, pull in a data model, and quickly generate visualizations and update visualizations for a compelling report. But the question is, now you have your report, how do you share that with your colleagues or your boss? Microsoft's response to that is through Power BI's online service. Power BI's online service allows for easy sharing and collaboration utilizing the Microsoft Cloud. As I'll show you in a couple of minutes, a user can simply open their report on Power BI Desktop and select the Publish button in the application, which will then upload the report to app.powerbi.com. Once your reports are online, you can share the reports with others. This allows colleagues to view your work without having to download the Power BI Desktop software to their own machine. Sharing is as easy as adding their email address to a shared list. They will then receive an automated email with a link to view the report directly in their web browser. The online service utilizes a freemium pricing model. More specifically, the service is, in and of itself, free to use, though there is a pro version available at $9.99 per user per month. The pro version would be utilized for larger volumes and some enterprise features. The service has garnered a ton of interest, spanning across 45,000 organizations, 500,000 unique users, and 185 countries. As mentioned earlier, the service is now being updated on a weekly basis, and details of those updates can be viewed on Microsoft's Power BI blog. As it's an online service, the updates do not require anything from the end user other than a simple refresh of the page. I'll now go into a demo of the online tool. In the demo, I'll show how easy it is to publish a report from Power BI Desktop to the cloud for viewing on the online service. I'll edit a report directly from the online tenant. And finally, I'll cover pinning of tiles to create a dashboard utilizing reports across multiple data sources. As a friendly reminder, I will be highlighting the newest features as listed in the bubble on the right. So the first thing I want to illustrate is the step going from Power BI Desktop to Power BI's online service. Now, I'm currently utilizing Bridget's machine, so I have taken over said hypothetical role of a business analyst at an insurance company, and one of the reports that I've already created in Power BI is shown here. So as a business analyst, one of the things I'm looking to do is compare the stock information of some of my insurance competitors. So I have my completed dashboard here within the Power BI Desktop local application. And what I would like to do is share it with my colleagues. So all I need to do in this top bar is hit publish. Now, once again, I'm on Bridget's machine. Bridget has already signed in to her particular tenant, so it knows her credentials. If Bridget had not been signed in, it would be asking me for my username and password for Power BI. But because she's already signed in, all I have to do is hit that publish button. It recognized that this particular report had already been published to her tenant, so it asked me if I wanted to replace what was already there, and I said yes. And now it's published, so I can hit that close button. And now let's look at it in the online tenant itself. All right, so here is the Power BI online service. Let me orient the service to you for those of you who are unfamiliar with it. To get you situated, the left pane houses your workspace, in which you can view the different data sets, the different reports, and the different dashboards you've created or your colleagues have created and shared with you. You can also hit this triple bar at the top to expand and collapse this bar. At the top, you can see the title of what you're actively looking at. In this case, I'm looking at a blank dashboard. And on the right-hand side, you can look at some settings, download some particular applications, ask for help and support, give some feedback to the Microsoft team, as well as check out your particular credentials. Finally, the area to focus your attention on is the large space in the middle. This is where your content will be live, where you'll interact with your visualizations, etc. So for now, let's start off with reports. And I will open the report that I just published, which is the Insurance Stocks Report. So here we are, it's the online tenant, and it looks pretty much exactly the same as what I saw in Power BI Desktop. It's very familiar. And what's also great about the online service is the ability for the author to edit his or her reports directly from this website. All I need to do in this top left corner is hit that Edit Report button, and now on my right-hand side, I have that visualization and fields pane pop up exactly as I saw in Power BI Desktop. So let's talk about some new features. A big one you may have noticed, for those of you familiar, is the custom canvas size. So prior to recent updates, all Power BI reports were dynamically sized. They would stretch and compress depending on the user's resolution and window pane, which made it difficult for some users or consultants, such as myself, who wanted to create more consistent views or pixel-perfect designs. But now, what we can do is go into this visualizations pane, hit that Format Painter, and now we have this page size option where we can change it to a particular ratio, go back to that dynamic default view, or actually hit custom and specify the exact pixel dimensions for the width and height that I would like my report to be in. In a similar vein, a user now has options when viewing a report itself, unlike previously where, once again, everything was dynamic. So in this top left-hand corner, I can hit View, go back to that dynamic view, or do things like fit to page, fit to width, or view it in the actual size that the author has created the report in. Other new features. Images. Images were a big deal when Power BI came out because it allowed for customization and branding of reports. However, some users were still a little iffy about using images because of the dynamic aspect of the canvas. It caused some images to crunch and stretch, making them sometimes look a little unprofessional. But with the newest updates, when you select an image, you now have a variety of formatting options for that image, including locking the aspect ratio, determining the scaling, adding a title and a background to it. You'll also notice that my report has a couple of shapes, in this case 2 lines. Shapes might seem a little simple, but they can really add and enhance the report. In this case, what they've done is actually just simply divide the report to make the images look a little easier to segment in your mind. So if you want to add shape, all you need to do in this right-hand corner is hit shape and then add them here. Another new feature is the ability to add a friendly URL. So you've always been able to add text boxes. However, now, in some of the newest features of Power BI, you can add a friendly URL. So in this particular case, I've added a text box, and I happen to know that all of the information on my dashboard, on my Power BI report, is sourced from Yahoo Finance. And I'd like my user to know that. So I'll say source Yahoo Finance. Now previously, if I wanted the user to be directed to Yahoo Finance, I would have to type in the URL as a whole, and the user would have to copy and paste it. However, now I can put in this friendly text, highlight it, and in this formatting bar, hit that hyperlink button and specify what that URL is. Hit that done button, and now you can see that I do have a hyperlink. It's blue and underlined, and it's clickable for my user. So it's a very simple update, but it really enhances and helps the report as a whole. Another really great new feature is the search bar on the right-hand side if you look at your fields pane. So you can imagine if you'd, similar to what Bridget had done in the previous demo, you had an Excel report, and you had 15 tables, you had 30 fields in each table, you'd done all of the relationships, and you had a very robust data model. You have now imported it to Power BI, and you would like to create more visualizations, but you have quite a few fields, quite a few tables to expand and collapse, and it might be a little difficult and cumbersome to try to find the fields that you would like to add to your report. Now, with the search bar, you can do things like simply type in a keyword, and the fields list will filter on just the fields that have that keyword embedded in it. So once again, another simple feature, but it's really increased the efficiency for the user. So now that I've made a couple of these updates to my report, I'll just go ahead and save it. And I'll now focus on the major aspect of the online service, which are dashboards. My report's been saved, and I'll just give you a quick overview of the dashboards pane on the left. I have a dashboard I've created before, stock overview. I have another dashboard from Bridget, insurance executive display. I also have one called Amanda's dashboard. Amanda's dashboard was created on my own tenant. As a friendly reminder, I'm currently on Bridget's tenant, as you can see, with her credentials in the top right corner. So from my tenant, I created a dashboard. I shared it with Bridget, and you can see by that shared icon on the left-hand side. And if you look at the title, there is that lock, which denotes that I did not give Bridget write access to this, but she can only read and interact with it. So that's a quick overview of dashboards. We'll now look at the stock one that I created earlier. And the entire idea behind dashboards is that it lets you aggregate and just look at the high-level information that you would like to see. Now, each of these little boxes that you see here are what Microsoft calls tiles, and tiles contain a bit of information from a report. It can be a single report, it could be multiple reports, it could be reports across multiple data sets, completely up to you what you would like to see in your dashboard. And clicking on any of these tiles can do a number of things. For example, if I click on this average volume tile, what it will actually do is guide me to the page of the specific report that that visualization comes from. Now, if I want to add things to my dashboard, what I would do is simply pin. So if I were to hover over that same visualization, or let's actually go into Bridget's targets demo from earlier. So I've decided I really like this line graph that Bridget had in her report, and I want to add it to my stock overview dashboard. When I select it, I have this pin icon, this push pin in the top right corner, and when I select that, I'll be able to pin it to my dashboard. Now, new features in Power BI. This pop-up never used to be here, so let me talk about a couple of the features that you see here now. First, you can determine where you would like to pin this visualization to. You can choose an existing dashboard and select from the dashboards you have in your list. Note that Amanda's dashboard is grayed out because Bridget does not have write access to it. Or you can select a new dashboard and create a completely new dashboard here. Why is this important and why is this exciting? Previously, if you had multiple dashboards in your workspace and you pinned a visual, you weren't actually sure where it was pinning to. It was kind of a guess and check type of thing. So this is incredibly useful and incredibly helpful to the user. Additionally, we have this tile theming, which is important for when you upload Power View reports to Power BI. Because Power View has the option for themes, which allow you to change the colors, essentially, of your report, previously, when you were to upload your Power View images or Power View visualizations to Power BI, it would automatically change the colors to the Power BI default colors, and you would lose your themes. You would lose any branding and customization that you had created. But now in this pop-up, you can keep your current theme or use the new Power BI destination theme. So more customizations all around. The last thing that I did want to point out in the online service is probably my favorite new feature, and it has to do with the tile sizes. So when Power BI first came out and you had tiles, there were 3 tile sizes for you to choose from: the small, the medium, and the large. And I've highlighted all 3 of them here for you in this dashboard. But now, with some of the newest features, I can select one of my tiles and create a rectangle. It can be a wide, thin rectangle. It can be a tall, thin rectangle. It can even be a little bit larger. And I'm sure some of you think I'm a little strange, and it's a little odd how excited I am about this, but it's really important to understand that as the Power BI team continues to add on all of these different customizations and the ability for their users to do more and more with these reports, it's making their users that much happier. So to recap, Power BI's online service allows users across an organization to collaborate and share insights. It's a one-stop shop for Microsoft BI content. It's cloud-based service accessible via URL for multiple users to view the same reports or dashboards. It's a platform for many users to easily access Microsoft BI content from their browser, and is really for anyone who would benefit from visualizing their data. In terms of the latest updates since it went into general availability, the online service now has additional functionality in viewing reports, with custom report sizes and page view sizes. The service now gives users greater and better control over dashboard creation and editing in regards to pinning content to a particular dashboard or keeping the source formatting colors. Additionally, you can now change the tile sizes from the original small, medium, and large to more customized rectangles. I'll pass this back to Bridget one more time to cover some of the aspects of the native mobile app.
Thanks, Amanda. So we'll go into the third and final platform of the Power BI suite, and that is the mobile application. The native Power BI app is available for iOS, Android, and Windows, allowing you to take Power BI on the go with whichever mobile device you already use. As long as you have an internet connection, you can access the dashboards and reports linked to your Power BI online account wherever you are, all with the same security as all of Power BI's cloud products. In this final demo, we'll see how Power BI Mobile reflects the design and functionality of the other Power BI products, but with the added ability to take data analytics and collaboration on the go. So I'm actually going to share this mobile screen with you. I'm on an iPad here, and I'm just going to mirror this display. So now you can see this iPad exactly as a Power BI mobile user would see it. Users might be consultants reviewing the data or executives traveling internationally with the company. So I'm going to start by opening the Power BI app. And we can see that it opens right up to my workspace. I'm already logged in here with the same credentials that Amanda was using on the Power BI online service. On all mobile platforms, Microsoft has built a secure login with options for single sign-on authentication, as we did here, and role-based logins for individual business users to access the data most relevant to them. So we're logged in, and right now we see the available dashboards, the same dashboards Amanda just viewed online, the stock overview, the insurance dashboard, and Amanda's shared dashboard. The navigation between dashboards and reports is now along the top here. We can switch between dashboards and reports just by clicking. So here we see all of the same reports we saw online. I'm going to open up the insurance stock report that Amanda was just looking at. We can interact with this data the same way that we could online or in the desktop application. If we had visualizations in this report with the drill down feature, we would also be able to utilize that feature through the mobile app. So here I can interact with the data just by clicking on this bar chart. We can see that everything automatically adjusts to my click, so I can get the information that I need. Additionally, we can see along the right-hand side here that filter pane is hidden. So I can open that up and see that we have another report level filter here on the year 2015 because this is a 2015 stock report. So let's return to our workspace and now go to the Dashboards tab again. Each of these dashboard tiles has an ellipses on the bottom right-hand corner. By selecting that, we can see the option to invite others to this dashboard. Here in this pop-up window, we'll be able to see that I'm the owner of this dashboard, and to share this dashboard with anyone else, I just need to click Invite a Colleague, type in their email, add a personal message, and then send it off to them. Actually going into a dashboard, let's go into Amanda's dashboard. We can see the same dashboard that we saw online, and here the option to share her dashboard is grayed out since she gave me the read-only capabilities, and we also have the second icon in the upper right-hand corner, which is the favorites. So the favorites we can see on this quantity visualization and sales visualization already have a star next to them. So I've marked these as favorites because these are visualizations that are specifically relevant to me as the business user. So actually to see these favorites, we can go back to our main workspace, open up the menu, and choose, instead of my workspace, the favorites. Now, these are the visualizations that I've chosen across all of my dashboards that are most relevant to me, all in one place. I can click on any of the visualizations to see an enlarged option, interact with it, and I can even choose in the bottom left-hand corner here to annotate and share. I could quickly add a quick note, say anything I need to point out, and also share that image either via text message, via email, or just save it as an actual image to point out what I need my colleagues to see out of this report. So it's very easy for people to collaborate, work on the same reports, and see that same data, so that way they can all get the answers that they need. So, as you have seen, the mobile app keeps the functionality of Power BI in the hands of your on-site colleagues and executives. Users can easily review their data and share their thoughts all through their mobile devices. Finally, I'll hand the presentation back to Amanda just to wrap up what we've seen today.
Thank you so much, Bridget. So, let's give a quick recap. First, we covered Power BI Desktop, the software as a service available as a free download to your local machine, geared toward the business analyst looking to dig into data and create reports. Next, we looked into the Power BI online service, accessible via app.powerbi.com directly from your web browser. This is where we can see your own published reports, create dashboards, view shared dashboards from your colleagues, and create and edit visualizations directly from the browser itself. No need to download software to your computer here. You just need to access the powerbi.com URL. Finally, we explored the native Power BI app on the iPad. Same content is viewable from the online service, as everything is queried from the Microsoft Cloud. Useful for the user on the go, looking to check out the latest trends in their data, annotate anomalies, and flag things to your colleagues right there on the app. Now, all of the new features we covered in today's session covered those that appeared between general availability in July through about the beginning of October. However, as mentioned at the top of the webcast, there was a major October update that rolled out yesterday morning for Power BI that I did want to cover quickly here at the end. In this update, the Power BI team has enabled open source custom visualizations to be utilized in their toolset, created by developers and uploaded to this Power BI Visuals Gallery, a community-based site hosted on visuals.powerbi.com. You can now upload and incorporate a custom visual, whether from the community or created by yourself, to use in your reports and share with others. The developer tools for the creation of these is also available for coding, testing, and packaging for final loading to the online gallery as shown here. And check out the website or the Power BI blog for more information about this update and all other updates. We have some upcoming events on the calendar for you to join if you're interested. We do host webcasts such as this one, though we also do in-person workshops and briefings in London, Jersey City, Philadelphia, and other locations. Some events are highlighted here for you. Please check out the website via the URL below to find more details on any of these events or other events you may be interested in. We've also posted some of our services and specific engagements we've completed. We have utilized Power BI, as well as many other technologies such as Tableau and Qlik, for our clients in the past. If you're interested in what you saw today and are thinking about how you may introduce a tool like Power BI into your organization or integrate it into your existing strategies or technologies, please do reach out to us via the chat panel, and we'd be more than happy to discuss further. That is our presentation for the day. Once again, if you have any questions, please do reach out to us either through the chat panel or shoot us an email, and we'll get back to you after the event. Thank you, everyone, for your time.